Well, they gave us all a book, which I don't know what the cost of that would be, but it's.
Well, that's not insignificant. I was looking across the room at that, and those are gorgeous, big color pictures in that book.
Oh, yes.
That's not a cheap publication by any stretch.
That's the memorial. Right down here, and it's beautiful. You stand down. They lowered it down on the mall. It was so big, they lowered it down the mall down some, put it down a little bit, because when you're standing there, you look one way, you see Lincoln's memorial, and the other way, the Washington, and so it gives you this. And I had a wheelchair because I have a bad hip, but I didn't use it, and I was pushing it ahead of me. You'd be surprised how many people said, "Please get in, I'll push you," So.
Just people who were there seeing you?
Yes.
Just people in the crowd?
Yeah, just people in the crowd. It's just, I don't know, I can't explain it. And then, Soup, you look at this one, would you? And this is what my guardian made, the Lincoln's memorial, and the other way, the Washington. And so it gives you this. And I had a wheelchair because I have a bad hip, but I didn't use it, and I was pushing it ahead of me. You'd be surprised how many people said, "Please get in, I'll push you," So.
Just people who were there seeing you?
Yes.
Just people in the crowd?
Yeah, just people in the crowd. It's just, I don't know, I can't explain it. And then, Soup, you look at this one, would you? And this is what my guardian made up for me. Now, I don't know if all guardians make up this kind of a book or not.
Oh, the fellow that was your guardian on this trip.
Made that up and sent it to me, and if you look at it, it's amazing. I didn't stay with him too much because I didn't have to walk with him, see, but he was close to me. He wasn't too far away from me, and he kept his eye on me and everything.
But how nice for you to have this completely done up scrapbook to remember all the things you saw.
Yeah. My goodness gracious, your family does. You know, you and I are on the slippery slope, brother.
I know.
Your family is really going to appreciate that when we're out of here. Golly, that's really something. Yeah, that's a neat. Creative Memories would take a book from that.
Yeah.
That's really very, very nice.
I don't know if that was, just. I don't know if that's just from him or not. I mean, if the rest of them do anything like that or not. Well, but I appreciate what he's done for me in doing that. And I'd like to say that anybody can. I'd like to see him ship $1 or $2 to Ray Whittle if possible. You have his address there, and you can read that off, I assume.
Yeah, in fact, I was going to mention that, and I would like to suggest if anybody's got a couple extra bucks that they'd like to send down to the Land of Lincoln Honor Flight at Box 403, Land of Lincoln Honor Flight, Box 403 in Chatham, Illinois. That would be 62629. Maybe you've got somebody in your family or a good acquaintance who was a World War II vet that you'd like to have remembered. That would be a neat thing to do.
I'd like to I think so also.
Yeah. I just want to digress just a minute from World War II and make a comment that, we came home a little differently than our friends from Vietnam did.
Right, yes.
And I would hope that at some point in time that before they join us on the great mission outward, that they too would receive this type of significant honor, singular honor. This is a singular honor for every guy or lady, and there were some gals too, who served in World War II, and I'm really impressed. And I'm indebted to you for telling me about it, Orville. I got on the ball right away and got my name on the waiting list, and when I heard from Ray, I was 300 plus down. And if they take some 90 or so, hopefully next spring, if I'm still with us, I'll get to take that trip, and I'll report to my friend Judith.
Well, it's a great, wonderful opportunity. I shouldn't tell this because
you go ahead. We're talking about.
We were at the Washington at the WW2 monument, and we were getting ready to leave, and an honor guard was coming in, and there were guys in it, and there was one beautiful young lady, and all dressed up in her Navy outfit and everything. They'd stopped there ready to go in to do that, and it started pouring down rain. So I ran over by her and I said, "Hey, take a picture by this good-looking woman." And I said, "I'm going to take it home because my kids will say, 'You dirty old man,' And I embarrassed her, and I apologized. So I had a good time, too. I mean,
were there some ladies on your
there were a
trip?
couple of nurses, and, there was one woman that was had been in the service. And, mostly those nurses, because back they didn't start getting women into services until later on in the war, but there was some.
My husband's aunt was a nurse in the Second World War.
Orville, you're a great example of what the GI Bill meant to those of us who came back. Just comment on that just a minute, because there were thousands upon thousands of young men and ladies who were able to get a college education as a result of the GI Bill. And think of the importance of that and the import of that on their particular lives. Want to comment about that?
Well, as I said before, the GI Bill put me in college. It took me 12 years to get out through high school. I was married when I decided to go to college. And my wife said, "What do you want to do?" And I told her, and she said, "All right." She worked for a company there in Lincoln, and she said she'd keep working while I went to school. Excuse me. And she did. So I went to Bradley. And I went through in 27 calendar months. I worked rather hard. I used to tell a different story than that, but we were on radio. And I worked real hard and got through in 27 calendar months going straight. I was also in the police force the last summer I was over there, and they paid for everything for me, thank goodness. And I drove back and forth to Lincoln, and
think of that.
I went with 3 other guys from Lincoln that was in Bradley at that time, and graduated and in September, and had early September, and had a job up at teaching school by the end of September. So then I was at it in 33 years.
Well, that's just a story told many times over as to what the import of that, and the far-seeing of whomever decided that was the thing to do for those of us who were in service. And Orville's just one of thousands upon thousands whose career was changed forever. And he's come back and he's made, he's not retired yet. Orville still, like a lot of retired teachers, he gets calls back pretty frequently, don't you, Orville?
Yes, I figured it out, and I've been polying around education for about 75 years.
Is that right?
Yeah, so.
That is so wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate very much the presence of our good friend, high school classmate Orville Shaffer, telling us about his experiences in Washington, D.C. as being one of the honorees on the Lincoln Honor Flight. And again, I would urge you folks, if you have a friend out there that you'd like to have remembered, go ahead and find a place to send a little check down to Land of Lincoln Honor Flight, Box 403, Chatham, Illinois, 62629. For Judith Busby, this is Bill Gossett signing off from Viewpoint. Thank you. See you next Wednesday at 8:15. That would be.